chamber. They were flying home, I was flying direct from Akron to Duluth, from Cross Lake, Michigan to Duluth. And 30,000 feet, I guess. And all of a sudden, bang! Big explosion, and the tailpipe temperature skyrocketed.
Wow.
1,000 degrees, chopped the throttle back. And it hollered Mayday, Mayday, and this is February, so I didn't want to land in the water, so I made a quick turn toward land, and got over land, and I found looking for a place to do crash landing, and I saw a little bit of runway on a small airport, and it's about 4,000 feet, and I set up what we called a flame out landing pattern where you come up high and you can do it without power. But I set up and I put the gear down, and I got one unsafe, one safe, and one no in direction, so I couldn't land there.
Yeah.
So I decided to head back to Lake Michigan and eject and put the ship in the water. And so I was gliding towards Lake Michigan when I got the nose over water, so I figured, well, if I jumped about now, I'd land, the bird would go in the water.
Right.
So I told the guy in the back seat to jump, to go, and he went. It's an automatic seat system, and but when the canopy went, I fogged up and went. That was IFR, and then I pulled my seat handle. When I went up, my knees hit the canopy pole, and I tumbled like that, and it was really a blow. And then the chute opened, not much of a shock, and we were taught that there was a what's called a 3-line cut where you could pull certain lines from your chute, and they'd open panels so you could steer it.
Okay.
And I looked up to pull these 3 lines, and I could see daylight out of my chute. So when I tumbled, when the seat opened, the chute opened, me and the sea went through the chute, and I could see daylight through all these panels. So when I looked around, and I could see the guy that went out ahead of me, he was way up there, and I'm coming down with
Oh
I'm coming down like a ton of bricks. And my knee, I had a metal knee pad, and it apparently dug in and tore out the kneecap.
Ooh.
And it was bleeding bad. And then I landed. There's a cut you could release your chutes, so when you got cut up you could. So I got that set up, but when I landed, a tree caught up in a tree, and I just touched the ground, and I released, and I hit down, and about that time, when I was coming down, I looked, I saw my bird, and instead of going into the lake, it made a diving turn, and it came a big ball of fire, and I thought, geez, you probably hit a school or an old folks home or something
Yeah,
like that.
oh my.
And so, but a cop showed up, and I said, "What did it hit?" And he said, "It's okay." I said, "No, I saw it hit." He said, "No, it's okay. It hit in the open." And then
It hit a what?
it hit an open field.
Oh,
Okay.
Just
okay.
I got pictures of it someplace at home. And it hit an open field and just a big pile of mess. and just about a block short of the water. So I think what happened with the one gear hanging and the one up, it kind of drew it down into a turn like that.
Yeah.
And but when I hollered Mayday, he launched a chopper from Great Lakes Air Station, and about the time the cop got to me where I was laying, a chopper landed. I said, "Please get me on that."
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, I was in about a 10-minute chopper ride, and there was a field nurse wanting me to urinate in a bottle. so then next thing you know, I'm recovering from surgery, and
Wow.
they removed the kneecap, tied the muscles over the kneecap in a soft cast so I could bend the knee, and I was in 2 weeks in Great Lakes Naval Air Station.
Wow.
Yeah, so then I came home, and one of the local doctors, the knee had kind of, the tendons had stuck to the kneecap, and he got up on me, and I'm laying on my back and my knee's up, and he just crunched down on her and popped it, just pop. You could hear it snap, and the knee's been, I'm 93 years old and I don't have any knee pains because I got no kneecap.
Yeah.
Wow.
And but then they put a cast on me, and pressure from the cast, I got a big blister on my heel, and that dang thing was 6 months before that thing finally.
Wow.
Your worst injury,
That was the worst part of it. Was that
a
damn,
blister.
I spent that damn blister. I spent 6 months on that couch in the living room. And it's been working good ever since. And
Wow.
I got back on flying status, and the kid in the back seat, he landed okay, and they found the airplane, and they said the engine would never have air started. The explosion created so much damage that it never got an air start anyhow.
Wow.
But anyhow, it's funny. I had picked that bird up. Bob Redfield and I got that airplane new out of the factory in California about 20 years before, and I'd flown that thing for 20 years on and off, and then I had to kiss it goodbye.
That's a hell of a kiss.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I got a